Hey yo, what's up man? It's been a while since I made a video, so it's because holiday ma. So today this video is gonna be follow up on the surds video I made last week. So today we're gonna focus on rationalizing the surds in the denominator lah. So we need to understand how a fraction works first. When we have a fraction like a divided by b, very common sense, the top number is your numerator and your bottom number is your denominator. So how we read the fraction, usually when we express it like this, it actually just means the numerator divided by the denominator. Okay, so this actually just pertains to like fractions such as having a normal numerator on top, just a random numerator, let's do 5, but then your denominator has to be a surd. So you can use this when you have a fraction like this, when your denominator is a surd. So why do we need to rationalize the surd? Because it's not very nice to divide a rational number or a number on top by an irrational number. It's very messy lah. So basically, from our previous video, we know that when we have a surd, right, and we multiply it by itself, we'll just get the square of that surd. So this square and the square root will cancel each other out, so we just get the number. So what we can do here, same concept. With the numerator and the denominator, we multiply both by square root of 8. So what we'll get is 5 times square root 8 over 8. Okay, very easy, right? Okay, let's do one more example. Let's do 13 over square root 7. So same logic, multiply both the numerator and denominator by square root 7, and we'll get 13 square root 7 over 7. Alright? Okay, so sometimes they might give you a even more complex fraction. So you might face 10 over 5 minus 2 square root 5. Now to some of you, you might say, where got hard? Easy what? Just multiply both sides by multiply the top and bottom by square root 5 lah. But that will not give you your answer, because it will give you 10 square root 5 over 5 square root 5 minus 2 times 5. You still have a surd down here, so you're going to have to multiply by another square root 5, and that will make another square root 5 here. So how do we actually rationalize this fraction here? Now if you still remember your identities, your a square minus b square identity, this will actually give you a minus b times a plus b. So that's exactly what we are facing over here right now. We can actually see that this 5 here is your a, and this 2 times square root 5 here is your b. And because of that, when we multiply our b to the next, to the if we follow this rule here, we're actually squaring this number later on, so it'll get rid of that square root. So all we need to do now is to actually multiply both the numerator and denominator by 5 plus 2 times square root 5 for this identity to work. Okay, so with this we'll get 10 times 5, which is 50, plus 10 times 2, which is 20, to square root of 5, over this will give us 5 square minus 2 times square root 5 square. So if we work that out, we're gonna get 25 minus 2 square will give us 4. 5 square, square root 5 square will just give us 5. So taking all of this out, it will give us 25 minus 4 times 5, which is 20. So that will just give us 5. And if we divide 50 divided by 5, we'll get 10. 20 divided by 5 will just give us 4. So we have rationalized this fraction. As you can see, there is no surd in the denominator. Okay, let's move on. Last example for today. This one is a more complex one. Yeah, so now instead of just having our surd in the denominator, we have a surd in the numerator. So actually that doesn't really matter at all. Just focus on the denominator, yeah? So over here we can use our identity again to help us out. So this will give, we just need to multiply the numerator and denominator by 4 square root 2 plus 3 square root 7. And that'll give us, okay, we need to work this out one by one. So 8 square root 2 times 4 square root 2 will give us 8 times 4, which is 32. Square root 2 times square root 2 is just 2. And then 8 times 3 square root 7 will give us 24 square root 14. Okay, then this 5 here, just work things out. Yeah, okay, hold on, just gonna write things out. Okay, that's for our numerator. Now for our denominator, we can just use that rule, apply it here. So 4 square root 2 square minus 3 square root 7 square. Now if we work things out, 32 times 2 is actually just 64, and negative 15 times 7 is minus 105. Okay, positive 24 minus 20 will give us a 4, so we'll just write that as 4 square root 14, and that's over 4 square, which is 16, and square root 2 square is just 2 minus 9, 7. Yeah, I'm just gonna work things out. Yeah, so 64 minus 105 will give us negative 41 plus 4 square root 14. 16 times 2 will give us 32, and 9 times 7 will give us 63. So 32 minus 63 will give us negative 31. Alright, and as you can see here, both the numerator and the denominator have a negative value, so we can just kind of cancel that out. So we get 41 minus 4 square root 14 over 41, and we are done. We have rationalized this fraction because there is no more surd in the denominator. So yeah, I hope this video helps you understand how we can rationalize surds. Thanks for watching.